Hi, welcome to the library. Today we're going to go over information about the Zika virus. I'm traveling to a foreign country and I know that Zika is active there. How can my library help me to get more information about the virus? Well, that's a great question. So with the library, if you'll go into Medline Plus, which is linked from our homepage, you'll open up the Medline Plus page. From there, click on Health Topics. Once you've clicked on Health Topics, you can either click on XYZ and scroll down to where it says the Zika virus. That's the fastest way that I've found. So here we are on the Zika virus, and there's all kinds of information here. Where do I even start? Well, right here at the top of the page is a summary, basically talking about what the Zika virus is. And what I love about Medline Plus is that you can start right here, and there's information from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the World Health Organization, and also information in English and Spanish. So we start here and we have credible sources that have already been approved, and we know that these are good sources of information versus just Googling and maybe not getting the most relevant information, the most important information. So if you're interested in the latest news, there's a section here, and look at the date. The date is actually very, very current. So can Zika harm babies' vision? Well, this article is going to tell you. What are the symptoms of Zika? And you'll notice here that it's also in Spanish as well. And what happens? What are the tests? How do I know if I have Zika or not? And how do I prevent getting Zika? How does that work? What's the prevention that needs to occur? And then, is there a treatment for Zika? And what are some of these additional information, like the microcephaly? I hear all about microcephaly in the news. Well, what is that really, and what does that mean to my patrons? And the specifics here about the rumors, and I really like this one because there's a lot of rumors right now about Zika and what it really is, and the World Health Organization has put out a fantastic article about exactly what is fact and what is false. And then there's videos here for you. And if you are interested in knowing anything about clinical trials, you can always go here to the clinical trials. And what that is people who have volunteered to work with physicians in trials that have been approved by the government, especially through the National Institutes of Health, trying to discover vaccines and treatments for Zika. And then there's journal articles here, and these are all from Medline or from PubMed, and so that means that they are peer-reviewed for those of you that are working with scholarly or academic papers. And I like this one right here because it breaks down children, men, and women. What are the specific things about Zika that I need to know for children, for men, and especially for women, because Zika does impact women and pregnancy. And then there's always the Zika virus from the Medical Encyclopedia, which also is in Spanish as well. So there's some great information here to look at. And so let's say, well, I want to know more about those clinical trials. Well, okay, you just click on clinical trials. And right down here, it's going to show you what studies are open, where are we recruiting, what's coming but not yet recruiting. And if we go down further, we can also see, well, it looks like everything so far here is in the recruiting phase. So you would just click and let's go ahead and just open up Zika vaccine dose, and let's take a look at that study. And so I would come here, and there's some information, all the information I could ever want to know about this particular study, and basically who the principal investigator is. That would be the person that's actually doing this research, the time that the research is going to start, the time that it will stop, who's eligible to participate in the study. In this one, it's 18 to 55, so basically adults, both genders, and healthy volunteers are accepted. This would be anyone that's would not be able to participate And this is who you would contact if you were interested in participating in this particular study. And the responsible party is this person right here. And so this would be lots of information. And we don't happen to have the actual principal investigator yet, but once this is closed, then we would be able to know that information. And so back to Medline Plus, if I wanted to know about, I'm going to scroll back up here. There's a nice picture of a mosquito that's creating all these problems for us. And let's say that I want to know more about videos and tutorials. I can come here and there's going to be all kinds of videos and tutorials here for me, and I can just click on that and that's going to go ahead and take me. This particular one is about Zika virus and pregnancy. And let's say I want to go back and I want to look at more about information that's specific to Zika. Then I'm going to click here just on the start here because I always think that's a good place to kind of start. And I get this very nice page that's been done by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I know the CDC is a credible source. And what I love right here is there's resources. There's videos, there's print, there's infographics, there's all kinds of communication toolkits that you can get. There's widgets that you can put on your web pages, and anything and everything you would ever want to know about Zika. And this is a great resource. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your librarian. Have a good one.